put on the recordings.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am your host, Kritika, welcoming you all to today's engaging session on redefining quality in education. Education today is not just about academics, but about shaping well rounded, responsible, and capable individuals. To help us understand this better, we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Archana Sharma, a leadership coach and education consultant. With her vast experience in leading educational institutions and her deep insights into progressive teaching practices, she has been instrumental in creating impactful learning environments for students. Dr. Sharma, we are truly honored to have you here today. Welcome to the session, Icebreaker.
Thank you so much, Kritika.
So, before we dive into the topic, we would love to hear from you. How would you describe your journey in the field of education in just 3 words?
So it's been like full of passion, learning, and I thought I am transforming schools, but in this whole journey, I also got transformed to a great, great extent.
That's truly inspiring. Thank you for sharing that in such a concise yet meaningful way. So let's start the question. My first question would be to you, and of course, from my audience also. Dr. Sharma, the term total quality education sounds very comprehensive. So, could you start by explaining what it really means to today's context?
So before I describe, because this term itself has been coined by me, I got inspired by total quality management, which works for the industry. So I thought that, why not education rethink how the systems should look like? So that made me do my research on total quality management in education. And during that process, adding soulful learning into the procedures and frameworks, I coined and, of course, I composed my own models on total quality education. And in today's world, I think when future is carrying so many surprises and uncertainty our way, I think it has become more imperative for us to work on the quality of education. And I feel first we need to understand what was education meant for. Education is actually to build intellect, ability, and personality of each and every individual. So it's an irony, I would say, that quality and education were supposed to be synonyms. But today we are talking about bringing quality into education. Yeah. So quality, when I say it is not in terms of what we are doing inside the classrooms or in terms of the infrastructures or lesson plans or anything else. I think quality for me is what we are doing in education itself. What kind of individuals are we shaping for the world, which is going to be so uncertain? Are we equipping our children with the kind of skills which will be needed for them, not only to navigate through those systems, which are through those times which we none of us can foresee, but we want them to thrive as well. So for me, total quality management is thinking the child well-being in anything and everything that we do in education, which is somewhere I think is a major missing gap.
That's a wonderful explanation, Dr. Sharma. It really helps us to see that quality education is much more than just books and exam.
Definitely.
So, my next question to you would be: many believe that quality education should not only focus on grades, but also on skills, creativity, and emotional intelligence. How do you think schools can balance academics with holistic development?
So I don't think there has to be some balance between academics and holistic development. Academics is an integral part of holistic development, but it can't be whole of it. We all need to understand and especially in today's times when we ask children to explore more, ask inquiry-based questions, they have to ideate, look at the surroundings, then they have to look at the real life problems and then apply their knowledge to solve those problems. And when we give them that freedom to do all it, marks and grades will follow. If any child is allowed to do a deeper understanding of all the concepts, Marks and grades, I don't think he's going to miss on those. Those are going to follow. But in the same journey, he will also be able to love to learn more. He will also be able to enjoy his learning. So when we only make him focus, because I think in education or even in humanity also, we value something whatever we measure. So till the time we'll keep measuring the learning of a child in terms of grades and marks, we are forcing them to just rote learn. We are delivering content. If somewhere he falls short of rote learning that content and is not able to perform well in exams, we completely discard his human potential. That is so unfair. So I think the balance which the schools, there are so many other ways, because assessment itself means knowing your child, knowing your people. If you go by the literal meaning of assessment also, it is about knowing the pupil. So when you know your pupil, you have to see to it that is the child able to understand the concept in a manner that he is able to apply that knowledge in a practical way. When you show him the beauty of the practical aspects of all the subjects, you show him the magic of math, you show him the beauty of science, you show him the beauty of art. Yeah. And then give him a chance to showcase his understanding through learning labs, through learning exhibitions, through his own talents. So I think there are so many other ways of balancing the assessment, and automatically the holistic development of the child is happening within the curriculum. I'm not asking that we have to go out of the framework. So there's a saying called thinking out of the box within the room. So in the same standard curriculum, we have to make the child think out of the box using his own talent and potential. The teachers just have to design their activities in a manner that every child gets a chance to show not only the mastery over whatever he has learned inside the classroom, but in his own way. I hope I've made your understanding clear here. We've lost Ritika.
Yeah, I think we lost our connection. Let me
I think you
get
can,
back.
I mean, whatever I have spoken, if you can ask questions, I think that is something which makes our understanding even more deliberate and clear. So
Sure.
if you have a question, you can ask.
Yeah. So one question which comes to my mind is that nowadays we call teachers as facilitators rather than the educators because the education is available all across the platform. So
Right.
what you think can be one of the steps which will help the students the as a learner to identify the correct source of data because now they get information from what are sources they have. So
That's
how
what
can
I'm saying.
total quality education ensure that the students are getting the right data? For example, when we talk about this thing in IB schools, we have a subject called theory of knowledge, but
Yes.
CBSE is yet to come to any something closer to that one, which helps the student identify the source of knowledge. So, what you think can be the steps CBSE can
So
take to do
when
that?
we say that we have to develop critical thinking amongst our students, because with so much of information around, so much of, and they just have to be taught to pick up the relevant information. Of course, all their decisions have to be data driven. That is very, very important because then they are able to. But the only thing is, when you said that they have to be trained to pick up the right content in a right manner and then use it also in a right way. For that, our teachers have to kind of step up from content deliverers to content designers. First and foremost, the teachers have to understand they are just not teaching their subject oriented competencies to the students. They are building the human resources for the world, which is looking up to India. We all know that in coming decades, India is only going to provide the largest chunk of skilled human resources to the whole world. So the moment teachers understand that anything and everything that they do, they are not they supposed to restrict that to their own subjects. They have to go beyond. They, in fact, they have to take their children also beyond their subjects and integrate into real world um, problems, I should say, or scenarios, I should say. Not only the present scenario, they have to help them forecast, they have to help them foresee, anticipate, and then start working on the kind of problems they may face in the future. So the teachers have to move from what to teach and how to teach to first why to teach. The moment they are putting all this why in all their lesson plans, they will immediately be able to understand the two things. They have to know that every child has to be successful in accomplishing the learning outcomes which the teacher has designed for them. It should not be privilege of only handful of children. When you said information is available all over, even in the cloud also, these days we say the information is there, but every child is not capable enough to sift that knowledge and use it in his favor. So the teachers are supposed to help children to have that level of critical thinking and also the creativity to use that knowledge in their favor, in the favor of solving their own real life problems. So the teachers have to be continuously trained. On the job training is must because the world is evolving every day. So our teachers have to be upgraded and updated on regular basis. And not only the school has to organize training programs, the teachers have to be like, there should be small programs which can be in terms of maybe a video session for a teacher, 10 minutes video session on everyday basis, so that she will be able to keep herself updated anything and everything which is happening around in terms of education. Because I think when I say that in this evolving world, education is also dynamic, I think then it is highly required that everybody who is associated with education has to be dynamic enough. They have to keep themselves updated in the changes which are coming in the field of education.
That's a wonderful answer, ma'am. And I hope it will definitely inspire few of our audience. And absolutely balancing in life skills ensures our students are prepared just not for jobs, but for itself, for life also.
Of course, of course.
So my next question will be: teachers are at the heart of this process. In your experience, how can schools support teachers to deliver total quality education?
So most of the things, because I think already this question has been asked in your abstentia. So I will just say that continuous training of teachers is required, because if we all do not improve on whatever we do in within the education system in terms of the content development, in terms of the teaching and learning strategies which we take into the classrooms, in terms of how those teaching and learning practices have to be aligned with the child well-being, because that is very, very important today. That earlier the teachers were used to be only content deliverers, but today they have to be connectors. Till the time they themselves are not mindful of what they're doing, they cannot prepare the students to be mindful. So it is very essential that mindfulness has to be part of everyday teaching, and for that teachers need training. Social emotional learning training is must for every teacher, not only for counselors, because every teacher has to be a counselor these days, because we all can see that the children are getting exposed to so much in the world today that their social and emotional well-being is at stake. So for that, teachers within their curriculum and their lesson plans, they have to integrate social emotional learning aspects as well, because that's very important. If child is not feeling emotionally and socially safe in the school, which is a threat these days, so there is no chance anybody can learn.
Right,
So the
that's
teacher,
so true.
yeah, so the teacher's training has to be, and training is definitely not about the workshops and the sessions. Training is also about visiting each other's classes. They can have peer feedbacks being given. So when children learn that our teachers are also learning along with, they feel motivated and they feel that lifelong learning is one skill which is going to be very, very useful for all of us in the coming times.
Right. Empowered teachers really do create empowered students as well.
That's right.
Right. And we often see a gap between theory and practice. So, what are the big challenges schools face in achieving total equality education, especially in India?
So challenges, like people may call those challenges, but always feel that challenges have to be taken as possibilities, you know. So when we look at challenges as possibilities, then suddenly our mindset changes. So it is not about the procedures and processes, it is more about the mindsets, you know. So the mindsets of people have to be aligned towards what is needed today for our children to be prepared for the world tomorrow. Right. So, and it's not hard. The biggest challenge is actually about changing the attitude of because we have seen that our system has been such, no, we've emphasized so much on knowledge and technical power. That's the reason when we see even at the geopolitical or social political situations all across the world also, I sometimes feel that if these international leaders would have been educated with human skills, the scenario would have been absolutely different. So it's all about the attitude, which is another attribute which has been added along with knowledge and skills to what the children are required to be taught. Yeah. So once we are able to change the mindset of first our own educators, our own educational leaders, then our parents, then the society and the community, the half I feel that half the battle is already won. You know, because bringing quality into systems is not an issue. We all know that we all are capable of providing good physical infrastructures to our children. We are able to plan our lesson plans and pedagogical plans beautifully well, with our teachers working so hard, all the leaders doing so much. And I would say that people like you who are concerned about education, we all are working in that direction. It's only we have to make it little more systematic in the sense, again, the question we have to keep asking ourselves, what are we absolutely doing in terms of making education very purposeful and meaningful for our children? No, so that has to be done in every aspect of whatever we do in education, at ground level by the teachers, making the parents understand how do they want to nurture the potential of their children. And once everybody understands that and they start asking for quality in education, because I feel that is required, and setting the policies and procedures right is not an issue. Once the management to the gatekeeper, everybody just commits to bring quality into education, then it's not a very, very difficult task. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very valid point. Acknowledging these challenges is the first step towards creating real solutions.
Yeah, and I think every challenge whenever we look at any challenge, it along with it, it's bringing its own solution as well.
Right,
So it's
right.
only the way we start educating our children as a school or within the classrooms, it will be easily possible.
Exactly. So, Dr. Sharma, my next question will be like, education doesn't happen in isolation. So, how important is the role of parents and the community in ensuring quality education for children?
So I think that's another very, very important aspect of education which we all have to look at, because education is one thing which not only impact the child, it impacts the society also. Yeah, even it has a global impact as well. So when parents can ask for quality in everything that they purchase, in every product or service, why do they compromise on quality when it comes to every education? Every parent wants a best education for their children, but somewhere they are not aware of those nuances what they should expect from. So I can make it very simple for them that first and foremost, they need to understand the potential of their children. Is the school able to nurture the potential of their own child? They should not go by only the so-called, because I have worked from remotest to the elitist of the schools. Okay, so it is very, very important for the parent to be able to understand what works the best in the well-being of my child. They also get carried away by good marks, not of their own children. Sometimes, if the child has attained 95% marks, also, they will only question him for those remaining 5% marks. So I have examples where, you feel that I would see a child sitting in a corner and sulking that, ma'am, I'm a failure. So if I would ask, he said, I got only 80% marks in science. And my parents and my teachers say that I'm a failure. So if you ask them that, what exactly do you want? Do you love to learn science? He would say yes. Then my question would be not to the child, it would be to our system, that we are failing somewhere where we have not been able to hone his love for science into marks. We are supposed to, if we are experts in our work, we are supposed to, shift his dreams of doing science into reality. But instead of doing that, we are discarding his complete dream, love, or the potential which he has for a particular subject or whatever he wants to do in life. So once the parent also understand that what is their child's dream, and by supporting the school, or I would say collaborating with the school, they can always make the dream of the child come true, right? And along with that, the school assignments can be in a manner that those can be done at home, that gives a chance for the parent also to collaborate, not in the kind of projects which parents only will make for their children, but they can somewhere be involved. Then few experts, like we've been having collaboration with the parents, where parents would be called to school and take workshops and sessions on the areas of their expertise. That is also very helpful most of the times. Then we can have, um, these sessions with the principal, like coffee morning with the principal, where suggestions of parents should be taken, because these days our parents are also quite enlightened. So instead of waiting for them to interfere, we should involve them in a manner that they should be supporting the school system. Then from community also, we can call people to interact with our students. The more exposure our students get, definitely that will make their learning even more beautiful. And along with that, students can also be made to do internships if the parents are associated with some expertise area. So that can also be done. So this kind of collaboration, I think, can definitely enhance the quality of education, which we all are trying to make happen.
Very well said, Dr. Sharma. And what I believe that a child truly blossoms when school and home work hand in hand.
Definitely.
Right. So, Dr. Sharma, my next question will be technology is reshaping classrooms. So, from AI tools to online platforms, how do you see technology contributing to or sometimes hindering the idea of total quality education?
So I think technology also has done wonders, not only at our national level, but at global level also. Only thing which I get to see is wherever technology has been used without ethics being integrated into it or values being value in this in a manner that what are we trying to gain out of using technology? Yeah, so it has done certain disasters as well. So it is very, very important for us to train our teachers and students to use technology responsibly. So for that, if I talk in terms of policies and procedures, good SOPs on technology usage can be made. In fact, we had time before COVID when we had allowed children to bring their own devices to school. And in fact, during COVID also, we have used technology in a beautiful manner. So we can continue using technology because I feel that whatever new is coming our way, our children should not be deprived of that. They should only be trained to use it in a wise manner. In fact, recently, I mean, 2 months ago, I was in Paris. I was shocked to know over there the children have been prohibited to use devices and social media, which is, I would call it ridiculous because how will they learn and create new technology if they have not been made to first use the technology which is available to them? New things can be created only first when they are able to experience whatever is existing. So it is very, very important that children should be, and in today's time, self-directed learning is highly required. So if technology can help them to learn at their own pace, for an example, at night, child is getting stuck in chemistry, suppose, in somewhere or the other. So he can seek help if he has been trained to use technology in. Only thing is, the technology has to be incorporated within the classroom also, so that teachers also can get help from technology, because again I would say everything is moving very fast, so teacher has to seek help of technology to kind of keep the pace of her teaching learning process also mm, intact. So and when children see their teachers using, because I feel teachers are supposed to be ahead of what the children can do. So in one of the conferences, I was asked a question that will AI replace teachers? I said, see, if teachers do not learn to use AI or technology in a manner that they are encouraging their children to create new technologies, such children should be replaced by, such teachers, I think,
Right,
should be replaced by AI. So
right,
the
right.
teacher's job is to continuously keep honing the inner potential or inner elixir or inner magic of every child. And that's only possible if they are able to first keeping themselves updated all the time.
Right. Actually, that's an insightful take. Technology
Because that,
indeed works best
yes,
when used as a tool, not a replacement.
yes, of course.
Right. So let's grab a quick breather, 2 minutes to recharge. Don't go anywhere because when we return, we will dive deeper into how schools are reimagining education. So I would request everyone to stay with us on the same link after just 2 minutes. We will get back.